Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Art for Profit's Sake. I don't have any interviews scheduled, but I can tell you that I am in a photography meeting called the Tampa Bay Society of Photographic Artists, and a couple of members were curious about how to use Lightroom. So I had this batch of photos that I shot at Disney late last year, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to just record my screen, talk out what I do in Lightroom, and use it as an opportunity to turn it into an episode. Maybe boring if you're just listening, but I'll put this up on YouTube where I get more views anyways. So without further ado, let me share my screen. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to be pointing out is how I organize all my photos. Whenever I import everything from the camera, have in my pictures folder, I have a folder called events, and within that I have one folder for each year. So these were shot in 2024. One thing you'll notice is I have not done any new photos in 2025 yet, since I don't have that folder yet. But in 2024, this is the latest batch. I label everything based on the day and month that I import them. So this is December 17th, 2024, and then a little descriptor about where I went when I took those photos. So this is Hollywood Studios. So in here, I have the same file name, but raw, to indicate these are the original files taken out of the camera. When I do export, or if I export, I'll create another folder with the same title, but with export on it. So let's go ahead and select all of these. And I've got Lightroom open in the library tab, and I'll just drag them onto my screen to add them to my library. So Lightroom is now looking at all of these, and let's go ahead and hit import. Now, the other day I found out, so this is this little device I have on my screen. You'll see on my camera. This is called the Clip Studio TabMate. It's used for Clip Studio Paint, drawing software I use. But I found out with a program called Joy to Key, I can program the Lightroom shortcuts into this device. So this will be my first time also trying that out. So, all right, so I've got everything here in my library. I'm going to go over to the Develop tab. So I can start by just flipping through the images and rating them. So I'm going to hit the button in the middle to go full screen. Well, not exactly full screen, but full enough. And let's shrink these down a little bit. So usually when I'm going through the photos, if my first run of going through these is to rate them on a 1 to 5 stars. So as you can see on the bottom left of the screen here, I have my stars listed, and I programmed the wheel on this thing to do the rating. So if I just do slightly 1 increase rating, it goes up to 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just put this down at 1 star. Another thing I could do if I don't like it is I can reject it. Now, which button did I put that on? Is it this one? No. This one? Well, that labels it as blue, so not what I was looking for. Maybe I didn't program the reject. Flag as pick. Okay. Set as rejected. There you go. Okay, that's my reject button. So no point in rating this. It's not that great. So I guess I'll start by going through and rejecting the ones that are just boring to me. Okay. Yep, that's not an interesting photo. Reject, 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 reject. Sometimes there's like, maybe I can pull something out of it. This one's kind of interesting, the way that I have the gondola on the right framed. So maybe I'll rate that one as 2 stars. This mouse wheel makes it kind of hard to set the star rating. All right, reject, reject, reject. I think the world passing by is kind of interesting, but not interesting enough for me to care about. I love taking a photo of that. The lens I was using this time was an 85 millimeter, and I have a cropped sensor. So it really comes up as a 170 millimeter, so it is very zoomed in on this lens. I would have preferred to have more in the shot so I could see the people there as well as the flags, but I was so far away that I couldn't really get anything too nice out of that. A lot of photos of people bending over as they go through security. And there's my lovely wife, Leslie. There she is. I think this one's kind of interesting, but it is very washed out, so going to be hard to save that one. So I'm not even going to bother. I'll just reject it. Now this one's kind of interesting. I do wish that guy right in the middle was not out of focus, but I do like all the different layers of depth of field in here. Still rejecting though. This one's kind of fun. People being cropped off on the bottom is not that cool, but if I crop them off more and turn it into a landscape, it might work. So I'll hang on to this one and set it as 2 stars. Usually I end up deleting everything that's 1 star. 2 star means that I'll mess with it, but I'm not super optimistic. Let's see. How do I feel about this one? Nah. I don't think I rejected that one. That guy on the left is being cropped out and he's too close to that gas thingy, so reject. No. Do I want to mess with this one and brighten it up? It might be interesting. Yeah, I'll hang on. No, I don't. It's weird with that tower in the back being in focus and the rest not. Reject. I swear there's some good photos in here, I promise you. That one's fun. I'll put you at 3 stars. You at 3 stars. Now, if photos are really similar, then I'm going to end up picking one to mess with. Because there's no reason to have both. Reject. Like, I like this sign, but it's so vertical, it's hard to get an interesting shot of it. That might be fun to play with. I'll set that to 2 stars. It might be interesting. Worth keeping. I'll hang on to it. 2 stars. Well, that one's fun. I'll put that at 3. These photos really come alive when I start adding filters. Not filters, but adjusting the lighting and everything. Okay, we're getting onto something. 2. I got better close-ups of that. Reject. Oh, that's fun. I like that. Do 4. I can't use this wheel. I gotta program something else. No, that's not great. That one's fun. Keeper. Now, how do I compare this one to that one? I think this one's better. Reject that. Keep this one. Well, that's pretty. I think I like this one. I'll hang on to this one. Oh, that could be good. What's going on here? Probably just a dark ceiling. That one's fun. It's Frozone. Couldn't get close enough to that shot of Mickey over there. I don't know. I kind of like that one. That might be salvageable. Oops. Unflag. No, wrong button. How do I unflag everything? No, that's red. Alright, I'll have to do it manually. Let's see. Set flag. Unflagged. Color label. None. Okay. Oh, I think it was the trigger that deselected everything. Yeah. Okay, reject. I don't like that it's a Starbucks logo, but that is a fun photo. Reject. Well, that's a good one. I took these photos, 2 months ago now? So I feel like they're kind of new to me. I'm just as surprised as you all are. Well, that's fun. I like the way I lined up Boulevard. It is very washed out, but I think we could pull it off. I wish Boulevard was lined up better there. That's pretty. It might be fun to play with. This lens I was using does some cool stuff when you have the sun right in it. I like these little elves. Yeah, why not? I'll hang on. There's Max from a Goofy movie. That's fun. Don't know if it's got any artistic integrity to have a Disney character in it, but it's still fun to shoot. Wish I could remove the tree from this shot. Oh, you know what? I'll try with some AI stuff. Wish there wasn't that dude right there. Oh, there you go. Keep that one. Kill that one. There's the rainbow again. So this is me going into the tower. It was pretty stormy. I think it started to rain while I was in line. It'd be interesting. I'll have to crop a lot out of there. Don't judge me. I think this is fun. I like this one. Well, that's fun too. It might be usable. That's a fun photo. Tell you, this is like the most efficient way I have ever edited photos. I'm glad I got this clicker thing going. Yeah, I don't need that. Don't need that. It's blurry. This might be salvageable. I didn't have a lot of time inside here. The line was moving pretty fast. So I just tried to shoot whatever I could. High Society Suite. Stardust Room. That's a fun photo. Yeah, I took a lot of photos of lamps. This is when the elevator stops working. And then we have to go to the service elevator. That valve might be salvageable. That's kind of fun. So yes, these might be wastes of time, but I still want to mess with them. So this guy approached me after the ride asking if I could send him the photos of her ears. Well, let's color code them as green. It's like weird, you know? You would think that slow moving line, you could do some fun slow shutter speeds, but we were moving too fast to pull off any of that. There's cool lighting in there. It's nice and spooky. And this is after the ride is over. You go through another little prop area before you're in the gift shop. Who is Jera Etherson? I bet that's one of the Imagineers. Creepy pumpkin. Wish I'd gotten lower. A lot of times when I'm looking at these photos, I'm thinking I should have crouched down. Would have been a good photo if I had only crouched down. Oh, this might be kind of interesting to try and pull out some of the reds. That's okay. A squirrel is about where I caught up with Leslie again. Oh, there's ice cream in the wreath. Don't know why I hadn't noticed that. Beautiful. And ice cream there too. Fun. I like that kid standing, walking right through the crowd. That might be good. There's fruit there. Oh, because it's on the produce stand. Mouse About Town, Sunset. Weird Dutch angle on this one. Look at me being all fancy. Parkle on Sunset Boulevard. Wish I'd gotten better shots of the dogs. Like, if I had just taken a step to the right, or from here, a step to the left, would have been great. I think Hollywood Studios has the best Christmas decor of all the parks. Look at that. That's so fun. That's fun. I do wish I could see the deer a little bit more. If I had backed up and gotten lower, I'd have both in the shot. Do I want to save? No, I don't. Oh, this is the Indiana Jones ride. That's a pretty good shot. And they build that set. People come out and start tumbling. This was my first time going to the Indiana Jones stunt spectacular. It was spectacular. Better. She's really close to the edge there. It kind of makes it uncomfortable. All right, kill that one. Oh, there's Leslie. Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Nicholas. How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm recording my podcast right now, so your voice is on it.
Hi, podcasting world.
Yeah.
Nick is the best, and he is just the sweetest person in the world. I need people to stop screwing him.
Well, we are editing our Hollywood studio photos right now, and it is fun.
I wish we were there right now. I'm jealous that you at least get to look at them.
I know.
Well, I will let you go.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too. Am I still picking you up around 6-ish?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Cool. All right. Bye.
I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
That's why we do it, people. Oh, that could be an interesting photo. Crop out the bottom, make it more of a landscape. No to that one. No to that one. It's driving away. Some tumbles. Tumbles and jumbles. Guess I needed a faster shutter speed on these. I'm learning. It's a learning. Look at him go. That's fun. Indiana Jones is in focus. Everyone else is shaking around him. So when the airplane comes out and there's this whole fight scene. I didn't have a zoom, so can't really see all that much about what's going on. Explosions. And it goes boom. Well, that's kind of fun. That's going to be a good photo. Look at that reflection under there. I'm going to make that stand out a bit more. If only I can make it look like nighttime, you know? Get rid of that matte on the bottom. We'll see. Oh, the smoke is looking cool. It might be safe. Where did he go? He disappeared in the smoke. Ugh. Why is that guy's arm going to be out in front? That'd be such a cool shot otherwise. Just leaving after the stunt spectacular. Now my puppy came to say hi. Hi, Twiggy. Papa's busy right now. You just gonna lick me until I let you outside? Well, you're gonna have to lick me for a while because I'm in the middle of something. Yay, back to the Christmas stuff. Took me a while to get my lighting back up on the camera. SS down something. Beautiful lights on that. I think I like this one. This one better. Look at that, and it's on. That's nice. Little palm tree sticking out of the left. Wish it was to the right, but we'll take it. Pretty sunset. I like the gap between this thing and the tree. What I need to do is spend more time looking at the shot before I take the picture. Think of everything in the image, where it is, instead of just shooting a million things and leaving it to me to edit here. Well, that's pretty. And that's me, a little self-portrait in there. Blurry. That might be out of focus. So this is us waiting to get into the Frozen sing-along. Might be a good photo. And after we came out of Frozen, we saw these beautiful lights waiting for us. Look at that. Lovely. Wish I could see the bells more. So now I'm just going back and forth trying to figure out which one I like better. Kill that one. That's pretty. Kill that one. Kill that one. Keep that one. Keep that one. Keep that one. Keep that one. I'm impressed with some of these. That's a wild photo. She's kind of in focus there. Yeah, and then we went to... What's this place called? Toy Story Land. That is terrifying. Everything was gigantic there, but beautiful with the Christmas lights at night. There she is looking at me. Took a while to get shots of Slinky Dog dashing by. Wasn't easy. Don't think I got any good ones. Oh, that's fun. Look at that. That's a good one. Did I have my mist filter on? I think I did. Hey, that Slinky Dog dash is a very photogenic roller coaster. We're coming towards the end of this batch of photos. Oh, that's pretty. That's better. There they are. Oh, that's good. And that is the end of those. So now, after I've gone through my first run here, what I'll do is I will turn on the filter. And I'll switch this to my flag as rejected. Wait, how do I go to see rejected? Okay, I thought I knew what I was doing. You know what, let's pause it here and we'll come back to it after I let the pups out because I hear them whining. Okay, I'm back and we're going to start by deleting that big old batch and then start messing with some of the fun ones. So let is share my screen again. All right, so most of these have been rejected. So what I'm going to do now is turn on the filter. So toggling that so the nubbin is down means that the filters are off. Toggling again is so it is on. So here are the ones that are tagged as... I wish this kind of listed what it was, but turning this on means I'm only going to see rejected, which is 430 of the 636 photos I started with. So I can go ahead and select all of these, which is a good chunk of photos. And now I can right click, remove photos, and I got yelled at for deleting my rejects. I don't care. I've got so many pictures. I'm only going to end up saving probably 3 or 4 of this entire set anyways. So I'll just delete from disk. As this deletes, I went in and reprogrammed some of the buttons on this thing here. So now I have my BACD will set as 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 stars on these. But I know that might be boring to see me go through these 200 remaining photos just to rate them 1 through 5. But let's try it anyways. So rate this as a 1. I guess, sorry, 1. I have that button set to tab. That's not what I wanted. All right, let's go back and reset this. Okay, so that is set as 1, T, tab, and space. I want it to be this button. T, T, tab, space. And then this I want to set as 1. How do I put nothing in here? Delete? No, I don't want delete in there. And then, so this is not supposed to be 1. This is supposed to be, I think, N. All right. Okay, I guess that's working. And I want this to be 1 star, so I hit that. Okay, I guess space zooms in, zooms out. Ugh, sorry. How do I get rid of these spaces? I guess I can. I don't know what Hankaku is, but I'm guessing it's going to do nothing. So let's try assigning it then to 3 and 4. Okay, go over here. That still did the zooming. Right click it to clear it. Clear. Look at that. Clear. Okay. All right. 1 star. 2 stars. 2 stars. 3. 2 stars. Between these, I'll reject this one. I guess I'll make it 1 star. That one, 2 stars. 2 stars. 2 stars. 2 stars. Actually, I'll make that 1 star. 2 stars. 2 stars. 3 stars. 3 stars. 4 stars. 4 stars. Ooh, 5 stars. Reject. I'm only rejecting it because it looks the same as the other one. So we'll do 1 star. 2 stars. 2 stars. 2 stars. That's cute. 3 stars. 3 stars. 2 stars. Reject. Or 1 star. 4 stars. 4 stars. 4 stars. 3. I don't need that one. Don't need that one. Is that supposed to be like Stitch themed or something? I don't like Stitch. Make you 1 star. That's cute too. Culling the photos. I don't need that. 1. 2. Still want to hang on to him. 2. 3. 3. That could be fun. Don't need that one. That's good. Don't need that one. I think this is still fun. I like this one. So do stars. I just want to zoom in on her. So like, I don't know how usable or fun it'll be, but 2 stars. I'll probably end up killing it soon. 3 stars. This I think is pretty fun. 2 might be boring when it's close up. 2. 2. See how quickly we're going through those? This might be useless, so 2. Hang on to that. 3. 3. 3. Okay, so that's good for now. What I'm going to do now is turn my filter back on, and I'm going to hit 1 star, and I'm going to turn off the rejected filter so that I'm seeing, so the rejection stuff doesn't matter. Wait. I want to see flagged and unflagged 1 star. I'm going to do, yeah, rating is equal to 1 star. All right, so this is all just 1 star. I've got all 3 flags turned on, and 1 star. I guess I didn't kill that many. I only killed 11 photos. But delete from disk. Either way, slowly making my way through. If you hit delete on the keyboard, it's only going to delete the 1 photo on your screen. If you right-click the batch you have selected and hit remove photos, delete from disk, then it'll delete all of them. All right, so let's mess with some of those. So this one, again, might be kind of boring. There's not enough information here for that shape to exist. There's not enough down here for it to exist. I only think it's interesting how this is kind of framed. So let's start with cropping it. So going to the Develop tab over here. I'm putting on my bars on the left, my bars on the right. On the left here, we have lots of different filters. Some of these are ones I've created. User presets are ones I've created. Filter favorite, and then here are favorites, just ones that I tend to go back to. But we'll start with the crop. So I hit the crop overlay over here, and it defaults to this armature here. And let's kind of get rid of some stuff. So we don't need that on the left. And usually you want your interesting things to be on the lines. So if I crop in more, like, can I get this on the line? I cannot, but I can still make it kind of frame. And it's going to be a stretch to try and get this stuff right. Could do a little bit of a tilt, maybe. And let's see how this looks. Still kind of boring. Let's move it up some more. I feel like I'm just not going to be able to pull off anything interesting. So let's set this back to 1 star and kill it. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and hit remove, delete from disk. Usually anything that's 2 stars I end up not deleting. But if I mess with it and I can't get satisfied with how it looks, then I'll kill it, put it to 1 star, and go back and delete all my 1 stars. All right, so this one I really wanted to get rid of the people on the bottom since they're not really the subject of it. So, and I don't really have a lot of information here on the right. So let's start by seeing if we can keep this aspect ratio and make it an interesting photo. All right, so this is kind of as low as I can get. It's kind of weird that this little circle thing will be floating on the bottom. And that's not that interesting. Maybe if I expand it a bit more up to this guy corner over here. So we've got like a couple of almost heads. No, I'm not feeling it. Let's try something a little more narrow of a ratio. So my camera's a micro four thirds, so this is what it defaults to, 4:3. Let's try a 5:7 ratio. So it's a little bit more landscapey. Let's get some more information here on the right. I could even try like a 16:9, 16:10. Yeah, let's try 16:10. That's a little too narrow, the 16:9. Okay. Enter to see the crop. And I think that's kind of nice. We got this right in the middle. Maybe a bit much, but it's not bad. Now let's see if we can mess with some of these colors. So the first thing I love doing is I usually just go to a filter to see if anything looks fun that way. And if so, then I'll just mess with the colors from there. I like the warmth of that LNO. That's even warmer, PM07. And then here, I have one called Disney Vintage. I use a lot at Disney, believe it or not. The dynamic black and white is fun. This PM10's a black and white one. I think that's pretty cool. If I'm messing with stuff on my own, let's start by making the sky cyan. So down here in the color mixer, you can see all different shades of your image, and you can pick one of those colors, and it is going to let you change the tint of that. So as you can see, moving it to the left makes my blues become more cyan. Then you can also change the luminance too, so that can make our skies a bit darker. And how fun is that? It also made this thing darker too, so you could mask that off if you want. I think it's okay. I like that it matches there. Now the red here of the crossroads, I wish that was a little more robust. So let's make this saturation a little higher and make it a touch more orange so that it kind of pops against that cyan a bit. It's maybe a little better towards the purple side, purple hue. And then let's see if we can mess with these. Now we also have something here called the point color, which is a little bit more specific. With point color, I can choose an area, and then you'll be able to tweak those colors. And it's just going to like focus on that one color you've selected. So like I can make the walls of this building a little bit more over there. And that's similarly too is the hue shift, saturation shift, and luminance shift down here. And the range will increase how much is like being adjusted, or how many colors close to the one you selected are being affected. So let's say I want to make that building a touch darker, and luminance a little brighter. Okay, so that's kind of fun, nice and festive right there. Now let's work on some of the darkness and lightness values. So the darks in these trees here are really dark. So I want to brighten that up a little bit. So I'm down in my blacks. And bringing up the blacks usually helps make an image look a bit more aged. Do I have any shadows to mess with? Yeah, look at that. Makes it even more of a bright, sunny day. Highlights. Pulling that down will make the sky a little darker. That's fun. And then whites. Don't know if I need to kill the whites. A little bit. Exposure up and down will also be huge changes to the image, so I tend to not mess with that unless I'm like really far away from what I need it to be. Some things to find with too, like vibrance will just make everything a bit more dramatic, kind of like the what's his name, Wes Anderson effect. Saturation goes from black and white to ridiculous colors. Just put you back on 0 there. And I think this is a pretty fun photo right here. So I'm going to go ahead and rate this one as a 4. 5 means it's really good and I need to print it. And in my mind, if I rate it a 5, that means I'm going to print it. I'm going to have certificates of authenticity and I'll make it a limited edition. 4 means I'm print curious, I guess. Okay, so this one, again, might not be usable, but I kind of like how off-center it is. I've got this in the right third. So first off, I need to adjust it because it's a little crooked. As you use the crop and rotate over here, you can see this grid appear. That helps you align things vertically. So actually I did that too much. Because of the perspective, this one is a little bit off now. So let's go back and rotate a touch the other way. And get somewhere between the two. Okay. So as I mentioned, this one's very dark. So exposure will get me a little bit closer to where I need to be before I start messing with these things individually. So I could like bring up the blacks, or maybe I want to keep it a little more dramatic. Maybe blacks all the way down, but then shadows up. And that looks pretty bad. Shadows down, highlights up. Yeah, that looks terrible. Don't do that. All right, moving back up the blacks. So let's bring up our blacks, bring up our shadows, highlights down to even this up a little bit, whites down a little bit. And this red is pretty distracting, I think. So let's try one of my black and white filters. So that one's a little too much contrast. Oh, actually, that PM07 is kind of fun. This PM10 is not bad. All right, so this is about as much time as I want to give something before I realize I don't like it. So let's change this to a 1 and kill it later on because I'm not feeling this image. All right, this one is pretty. Let's see how it looks in black and white. That's pretty fun. I like the stripes of this cover story that really pops up over there. I think I might want to keep this one in black and white. All right, so let's keep that. I've clicked on that filter, so now it stays on, and that just sets all these presets to where I normally like it. And now I can mess with some colors. So let's get the blacks a little bit blacker. Shadows maybe a little darker. Highlights up. Maybe shadows up. Yeah, I think the shadows up is good. And I think 4x3 is maybe like this is too centered. If I change this to a square, then I usually feel like the centered image is more justifiable when it's a square. So let's see how that feels. I think that's kind of fun, but I do want to try going more landscapey so that we maybe lose the text on the bottom, which is pretty distracting, and focus more on this cover story thing up here. So let's again go to the 16x10. That one's fun. Move it up. We probably don't have to get rid of all the text, but at least getting rid of some of it makes it less distracting. I don't know about that. Let's get rid of more. Cover story. I don't know if I'm feeling this one. If you're on this crop overlay and hit X, it'll switch the orientation. So maybe this is what I need. No, okay. I think, oh, whoops. I think it probably worked best when it was just the original 4x3. So we can reset this all by hitting reset. Now we're back to where we were. It's interesting, but it's not really doing much for me. What if I crop all the way in just to that cover story? No. Reset again. I do this maybe? I don't know. I feel like there's something there. It's just a little too head on. Maybe if I go square and move it to the right to get rid of all that white on the left. Okay. This is working more for me. This I don't mind. I do want my blacks blacker though. So another way you could do that too is up here with the histogram or down with the curves, tone curve. The tone curve, you can be really, really specific. So like I can pin this here and then move my blacks even blacker. And then scooch this up so it doesn't, so the curve stays curvy. Okay, it's kind of fun. All right, I think this one's nice. Give it a 4. Okay, so this one has got a lot going on, and it's kind of muddy, but let's see what we can pull out of this. So again, I'm going up to here. We'll start by pulling out some whites, some highlights, bring up the shadows, and increase the contrast. No, that's not helping. All right, we're gonna have to start moving stuff around up here. exposure up, and we can click on areas up here on the top and actually like slide them around. Okay, so this has got some fun colors. Do some rotating here because it was a little crooked. This is pretty interesting. This little scooter here is kind of boring. How's this looking black and white? Not bad. I do really like the color lighting effects up here, but just because it's pretty doesn't mean it's a good photo. So I'm done. That one, setting it to 1. Next. Okay. Let's see how black and white looks. I'm not really feeling this one. 1. Okay. And this one here, checking the presets. The presets usually kind of give me a quick glimpse of whether or not I'll be happy with this after I mess with it a lot. Like this palm tree is just killing the scene, and I'm killing that photo, setting it to 1. Now we got a lot of much nicer Christmas tree photos. I don't need this one. I'll set it to 1. One thing I could do too is if I turn on my filter as I'm going through these, and I set it to 2 stars greater than or equal to 2 stars. That way, if I rate something as 1, it disappears from my list here. Like now I'm down to, I guess, 54 of 194 photos. I guess, well, there's the ones that I didn't give stars to yet. So those aren't showing up. So I don't want that filter on because I didn't star everything. If I have applied stars to stuff, then that would be useful. But as you can see, all these down here don't have stars. Okay, so where was I? This one, let's see how you look in some of my filters. That's quite nice in black and white. Oh, that iris is nice. And that really pops. Okay, so let's make our whites a little bit brighter to make this feel shinier. Maybe pull down some highlights, touch the shadows a little bit, darks a little down. Now I want to mess with these colors for sure. So we're going to make the yellow a bit more orange. This red up here, I want to see that a bit more. So let's increase the luminance. And then down here we have color grading. This lets you add a tint to your lower tones and a tint to your higher tones. Kind of think of this as like, you can use this really to simulate some like real film effects. So if I make my shadows a bit blue, for example, or a bit purple, look at that. Doesn't that look fun? And the highlights, maybe make those a bit orange. You can rotate it around. I feel like green or cyan highlights, it makes the image cooler, but it also feels a little bit more 70s. I think that's pretty fun right there. And there's a lot of blurry information here, so that's basically negative space. So I think I want to try doing some crops on this. Let's try the 1x1 there. So that's kind of like framing our image. Okay, that's kind of nice. Like I could see that hanging up as a Christmas decor. Now the greens and blues in the back, I feel like we could do more fun with those. So select my blues, make it a bit cyan. Look at that. Look at that. That's nice. Green here. Make this a touch more on the orange side. Actually, yeah. That makes it feel a little Christmassy. And then this might be registering as purple. Well, I am making this dot pop out more, which is fun. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of nice. But that's nice too. Oh, I like that iris I was getting. So iris is all the way down on the bottom under effects. So if you do plus, it becomes white. If you do negative, it becomes black. So let's do a little bit of a negative there. You can change the midpoint feather and you can add green to it too. So let's kind of do a little bit of green. All right. I think that works all right. So that as a 3. Okay, so this one here, let's check our alignment. A little bit of rotation there. Now, I wonder if we can make this brick pop a little bit more. So for this, let's actually do a mask. So this button up here will let us do a mask. So I can select shapes or anything like that, range. I'll do brush, actually. Make this brush big. Not that big. But really what I'm trying to do is just mask off this area on the left. And then I can add to it a little bit here. Okay. And let's see if we could just bring up the blacks a smidge in here. Nope, that looks dumb. Put that back. All right, let's try shadows up a little bit. Okay, not too bad. Highlights. Okay, that's kind of fun. And let's make this brick a bit more red. Okay, that's something that can't be done there. So we have to get out of the filter tools. I mean the mask tools. Head back down to here. And I think this is orange, so I'll make that orange a bit red. Oh, that's creepy. Yeah, but we'll do that. Can even increase the luminance here if I want to make that a bit brighter. Now the reds that are in here is this and that. I think those are kind of distracting, so let's turn that saturation down just a smidge. A little bit more. Make them a bit more orange so that they fit the rest of that. So I gotta remember to use my mouse wheel, because when I try to click on this and scroll, I swear I always end up hitting this bar on the right, which hides that menu on the left. So let's make our whites and highlights a little brighter. That's fun. I don't like what's going on over here, so I'll just do a little bit more of a crop to get some of that out. And then maybe align it a bit more to the right. Okay. I think that's not too shabby. Still not great, but I'll give it a 2-star. Okay, now this, I want to see what it looks like in black and white, because I think this is pretty interesting. There you go, that's fun. I think that's good as is. Moving on. I'll keep you at 3 stars. Look at this happy guy. Black and white? Nah, loses too much. Try Disney Vintage. Okay. So my first thought here is that this is a little too bright. So I'm going to move the exposure down a bit. Move the shadows down a bit. No, actually no, whites. Yeah, whites and highlights down. Shadows up. Yeah, okay. And I think that's pretty fun. Let's go a little more vintagey, and we've already got the shadows and highlights over here. Maybe shadows blue? Greenish? Actually, no, it's nice in the purple. Some mid-tones effects here. Alright, we'll keep that at 3 stars. This one, I want to try and crop into the tower a bit more. Let's go 1. A little bit of rotation there. I want to crop more because that is very distracting, that palm tree on the right. Okay, look at that. Now that's very distracting down on the bottom too. Jeez, all right. And now that's just boring. Okay, killing it. Giving that a 1. Probably not a great photo. It's kind of fun. Let's try this. Drop us down to a 16 by 9 all the way on the bottom. Yeah, not great. 1. Now that looks good with the Disney Vintage filter. A little boring in black and white. Let's keep that Disney Vintage one on. Love the light reflecting off of her phone, glowing up over here. And I think it might be a little too orange, so let's drop this down a bit. Turn down the highlights. Actually, I like that a lot. Increasing the highlights made it even peachier. Lovely. I think this one's fun. 5. Yeah, I don't want to go straight printing. I want to show it to people first, but actually, no, I'll keep it a 5. 5 means I want to share it in our photography group for peer review. Let's see. That looks nice. Black and white. It's got nice colors, so I don't want to go black and white on it just yet. See if I can make these reds a little brighter. Try the point color. Luminance shift. Yeah. Saturation up a bit. Yeah. And then hue it. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Pretty fun. Let's see if we can mess over with the texture. If we bring that up, everything should get a bit sharper too. Yeah, so like these lines are a lot more dramatic. Also make it a little hazy here by lowering the dehaze. Clarity can also be messed with. And then noise, if I wanted to add more noise or something, I think that also happens down in effects. Yeah, grain. So it's a lot more noticeable if you zoom in. How do I zoom in? View, zoom to 100%. There you go. Okay, so that's no grain. That is the default. That is with grain. Kind of want to try some crops because that zoomed in area looked really fun. Boule, is that fun? Hall boule? No. Let's back and reset. Crop on the left. Hollywood Boule. See, this information on the top is kind of, I don't know if it's needed to help that image breathe, but let's try 16 by 9. 16 by 10, rather. Yeah, we need that. I actually kind of like that. Cropped even tighter on the bottom. All right, let's keep that one. 4. All right, I think that's, this will be our last one. And then I think this is giving you kind of a good sense on how I go about doing these edits on here. I don't know if that looked better crooked, actually. But again, let's go start with the blues here, blues of the skies. Turn those bitches cyan. Look at that. Luminance down makes it a little darker. Saturation up. That's crazy. Now for the cyan, let's make that more green. Yeah, a little more green. And for the, I think that's going to count as red. Yes, saturation up. Luminance down. And then hue on the purple side, more to the red. That was good right in the middle where it was. All right, let's get our shadows. See if we can get these things into fun color grading here. Oh, I like that. Green shadows. Highlights. Orange. Yeah, that orange is nice. It's really showing up on the curves here. How's it look in black and white? Wild. That's kind of cool in black and white too. It looks a lot spookier. But I think that's fun right there too. Let's just try popping up the whites a smidge. Yeah. And I think I want to reset that crop. I kind of like it crooked. How's it look in a 1x1? That's pretty fun too. Is that better? I think that's better. Okay. Giving that one a 5. All right. I'm going to stop there. And it's been wonderful chatting with you all. Hopefully this wasn't boring as hell. Usually I probably spend an hour and a half editing a batch of photos when I get home from somewhere. So it's all par for the course. Thank you, and hopefully I have something more exciting for the next episode. Bye. Art for Profit's Sake is recorded through Riverside FM, distributed through Spotify for podcasters, and edited on Adobe Audition. The music is provided by Old Romans. If you learned anything useful or found this podcast helpful, please rate and review us 5 stars. If you want to learn more about me or my art, head over to chainassembly.com.